Hi everyone, my name is Kaylee and welcome to or back to the Kaylee Abduction. In today's video, I thought it would be a really kind of fun idea to rank all the fests I've attended in 2025. I'm gonna rate everything out of 10 and also just kind of give you a list of what I liked about it and what I didn't like about it. And then on either side of me, I don't know which one, I will put the lineup so you can kind of see and follow along. Starting off first in this video, I went to Lights All Night in Dallas, Texas, which is where I am located out of. This is my first time ever going to this event, and I would give it a 7 out of 10. I thought it was a pretty solid festival, especially for a New Year's one. The crowd was pretty good. The lineup was definitely pretty solid. I remember there was Black Tiger Sex Machine, Alley Cat, Ganja White Night, Kaiwachi, Tape B. Like I said, I'll have the lineup up here so you can kind of look for yourself. Next, it was pretty spacious actually. You could move around really well. No area was super crowded from what I experienced. Everything was spread out well enough to where you didn't feel overly cramped in like sardines, you know? I did really like that it was mainly indoors. There were like little outdoor sections and the VIP bathrooms were also outdoors, which was fine. But I like that it was inside. As a forever cold girly and a cold weather hater, I appreciated that since it is in the end of December and I just don't like the cold. I hate it. I definitely thought the crowd was pretty decent in comparison to like Countdown or anything. The crowd was pretty nice. It was a mix of like what you'd expect for a holiday fest, but everybody was still pretty respectful in my opinion and in my experience, and it wasn't overcrowded. Last point for this festival, I love that Disco Donnie events usually have what they call disco quests, to where you can upgrade your tickets the more points you receive and then get merch with the rest of your points. Next on my list, I have Breakaway Dallas. I've been to Breakaway Columbus before and it just wasn't great, okay? Breakaway Columbus was fun, but Breakaway Dallas, I would give her a 4 out of 10, and that's the lowest rating I have on this list for you today. I did not like that they had it at like the fairgrounds, especially because it was rainy and cold. I definitely think they should have moved it to like the Dallas Market Hall when they were in the midst of trying to figure out where to move it and if to move it with all the weather. Definitely should have done that. It was in like the 30s and 40s and it was cold, it was rainy, it was disgusting. Awful crowd. And I mean, I get it, it's Breakaway. Breakaway is one of those intro level festivals in my personal opinion. It's got really great, well-known headliners. Like think, for example, this year there was Slander, Louis the Child. They do people like Zed, just really well-known people that attract like a more regular non-EDM-esque crowd, which is fine. I love when people come in and join the rave scene. However, with that being said, when you get a mix of all these people who are interested in the scene or already well-versed into the scene, you also get a mix of people who are just there to get overly messed up and party. And I saw a lot of that. There was a lot of pickpocketing. There was a lot of people puking in the crowds, people being really rude, people like passing out, people just starting fights. Like there's no need for that. And a lot of regular ravers don't do that. So unfortunately, like I said, when you have a more commercialized, popularized, normie-centric event, that's bound to happen. It did gain points with me and my nostalgia-loving heart for the Acute Nostalgic lineup. I constantly live in, I want to call it the golden age of EDM, like that 2012 till 2019 stint of time. There was Slander, Louis the Child, Zed, Griffin, those were the main headliners, and I just love that. I just love that. I know that brings in like a more basic crowd, but oh my God, the music is just so nostalgic and good, okay? You just really can't go wrong. So it definitely gained points with me in that aspect. That saved it for me. I would definitely give Breakaway Dallas another chance if the weather were warmer and if the lineup were still really good. But that's kind of all I have to say about Breakaway. Definitely try Breakaways in your area. I've heard the rest of the locations are great. Like I said, I've been to Columbus a couple times and that was an amazing time. I'm pretty sure it was the first time they had done Breakaway Dallas in a minute or at all. So you live and you learn. Moving on. The third festival I did this year was Ubby Dubby, which is over at Panther Island in Fort Worth, Texas. I would give that a 7 out of 10. I only went Saturday. I did not go Sunday. But then I had such bad FOMO, okay? Anyways, moving past that, the vibes on Saturday, mwah, immaculate. I met so many amazing people just going into the festival. Not to mention, I was a little lit upon arrival though. So I already knew how this day was gonna go. It was gonna be a time and a half. I got a trophy for most creative outfit, and I agree with this trophy. I deserved it hands down. I made my entire outfit pretty much out of candy beads, and I looked so cute. I don't know if I have any photos, but if I do, I will insert them. If not, I was probably really drunk at this time. I loved the crowd. Everybody was so helpful. Everybody was so friendly. There was not really a lot of pushing, shoving, rudeness. It was just great, which love. Everything was super spaced out, almost a little too spaced out. The two main stages, oh honey, that was a walk and a half, especially in that Texas heat. I was sweating, but it was fine, it was fine. There was a lot of space in the crowds even to move around, dance, vibe, go to the front, go to the back, run to the potty, sit down even, have cuddle puddles. Flo loves it, amazing. So I had like the ultimate VIP for Ubby, I think it's called, or something like that. I didn't go into the ultimate VIP area, but I did spend most of my time in regular VIP. And it was pretty good and super big at all the stages I went to. I definitely would say, again, if you are a VIP lover, it is worth it. Also, the security with VIP, it was non-existent. It was non-existent. They didn't check anything. You could have literally brought anything, which is great, but also kind of scary. I didn't go day 2. I do have FOMO about that, but I'm pretty sure I'm doing Ubby again this year. That's how much I liked it, and the lineup is even better this year in my personal opinion. So I would definitely check that out if you're looking for a good festival, especially in Texas. This is the worst Texas festival I've been to since living here. And that title goes to Illfest. 5 out of 10. Everybody in this crew that I used to hang out with here raved about this fucking festival. You're gonna have the best time, it's amazing, but no, I don't see what y'all are seeing. We clearly need to rub the gunk out of my eyes because my eyes are deceiving me or something. I just don't think we're seeing the same thing. Weak ass lineup, terribly hot, like disgustingly hot. Granted, it is Texas, so it's gonna be disgustingly humid and hot. I get that, but it was dusty. The venue was so grimy and dusty that like it was sticking to you. And it's not like when you go to like EDC or anything like that to where it's tolerable. It was just sticky, dusty, sweaty, grimy. Not enough air inside the main stage structure. So the main stage was inside like this rickety old barn thing. I don't even know. And there were like huge puddles in the front, I remember, where electrical wiring was sitting in the puddles, which that's dangerous. Also questionable. I'm pretty sure that's a fire hazard. But there were like not enough air circulation. It was so hot inside. I hated it so bad. So Down saved the day. Wooly saved the day. But it was so hot. And again, I can hack it in the hot heat. I am a Vegas whore. I am an EDC slut. But that sticky, dusty, disgusting, grimy, humid, hot, bleh, get me out of the South, actually. The venue was boring and ugly. The venue was ugly. It was ugly. They also didn't even finish putting up all of the decor and art till the very end of day 2. You should have had that done before the festival even started. The crowd was interesting. I'm not one who likes to go in on the crowd and like dissect and hate. I've just never seen such like a diverse crowd, I would say, at an EDM festival. And what I mean by a diverse crowd was there were your true ravers, there were like baby ravers, there were your college kids who were just looking to get all messed up and have a good time. There were the questionable people that I would not feel safe having my phone out around. And then there were like the older people. There were a lot of like middle-aged to old people there too, and I'm not used to seeing that at EDM festivals, but it was cool to see. But I did notice that the older people were the most rude out of everybody, so that was kind of interesting. Security was non-existent when checking wristbands too. There were literally people getting in with Shackfest wristbands and other wristbands, and they just didn't even bat an eye, which I don't love. With all the weird uncertainty and scary things going on in the world, I appreciate more strict security. I don't want just anybody and everybody being able to come in. A, that can create overcrowding. B, it could just create a really dangerous, harmful situation for the attendees who are actually supposed to be there. You might have opposite opinions. Your opinion's wrong. VIP was horrendous. It was literally the size of a closet. Why? You wasted your money if you paid for that. Overall, I didn't hate Illfest. I just had heard so many good things about it that I was like, either you guys have shit taste or this is not the same festival you guys were hyping up. One of the two. I don't know. Either something's changed or you guys just have bad taste. Could be a little bit of both. The next festival on my list is Northern Nights. That is in Northern California in the Redwoods. I went, it was my birthday weekend with two of my dearest friends back home in the Bay. We did it as kind of like a little girls trip and it was the best time. There was only a few things that docked off 1 point, and we'll get into the cons before the pros because overall it was just spectacular. So the first thing, they released early entry like the night of Thursday. The festival started Friday. I wish they would have done the early entry when regular entry went on sale because we would have gotten that. That was a little frustrating and annoying. Whatever. Second, getting in was super slow for what seemed like no good reason. I don't know the logistics behind why it was so slow, but they kept rechecking cars over and over and over again, and then the workers would just disappear. Only one line was moving. They had us in like 5 or 6 lines, and the line farthest over here was moving, and then everybody else was just left to sit there in the heat. So I wasn't really sure what was going on, but eventually after hours of sitting in line, we did get pushed through to go find our camping spot. But moving on to the positive side. The festival itself was incredible. It was beautiful. Every single person I met was so kind and amazing and genuine. I made so many genuine friends there. I traded so many trinkets. I made so many memories. It was an incredible crowd. So good. I loved the river stage. It is a stage on the river and you just sit in your inner tube and you get your little drinkities and you float and you vibe. Ugh. I could have done that forever. Like I did not want to leave that stage. It was so good. It was so good. 10 out of 10. Ugh, I love it. I would love festivals on the river. If they had festivals that were on the river, I would be forever broke in the summer and I probably wouldn't go to a single other event. Just saying. My second favorite stage was the Grove stage. It very much gave like electric forest, Shambhala, very pretty vibes. I'll try to find a photo again and insert it. It was beautiful. The music there, I don't remember listening to music. I do remember lots of like little like games and fun little crowd activities there. The lineup was pretty decent. I will again insert another picture of that lineup somewhere here. It wasn't a 10 out of 10 lineup in my humble opinion, but it was still really, really good. There is zero service out in the Redwoods, unfortunately, and the Wi-Fi guys or whoever was there as a Wi-Fi people sucked. I paid all that money for Wi-Fi to not get Wi-Fi, and they refused to refund me. So anyways, the venue is so freaking beautiful, being surrounded by all those trees and the woods with the river is incredible. And at night, the stars were paid actors. You just look up, you're surrounded by all the music and your friends, and you just see the biggest, brightest, most beautiful, clear stars ever. And it was just magical. It was so magical. Me and my dear friend Sarah, we like never wanted to leave during the nighttime. We were just always like, look at the star, look at the stars. Anyways, that is kind of everything that I had on Northern Nights. I'm pretty sure we're looking into going again this year. So if you're also going, hit me up. We can link. Ew. This is, I think, the 6th festival I've done this year, and that would be North Coast and Chicago. It was a 10 out of 10 festival. It was a 10 out of 10 festival! It was a 10 out of 10 festival! This festival really renewed my sense of joy and wonder with festivals. I've been to, I think, 88 festivals now in my raving career. I average... For a while, I was averaging like 13 and a half a year. At some point, even though you still love it, it does become a little lackluster and it loses a little bit of its wonder. I did take a whole year off in 2024 and then came back to 2025 with a fresh set of eyes and new intentions. But North Coast really just reignited my love for the community in every sense of the way. 10 out of 10 all across the board. I went with a collective group, so I'm very grateful that they sent me for free as a content creator. I met so many of my followers. I met so many of my mutuals. I met so many new people. Every single person I met there was so incredibly kind and amazing. I had quite a few girls come up to me and tell me how much they loved following me and how like they just love seeing all my fashion and they love my personality, and it made me feel really good about myself. And that's kind of why I started creating content, because I love fashion and I love community and I love finding girls who are similar to me. So that really made me feel super good. Ew, I'm gonna get emotional. The lineup was top tier. I feel like North Coast always has a top tier lineup from what I've seen. Every single person was just amazing. Every single person. My favorite was RL Grime. I have not seen RL Grime in so long before this. It was grime time, baby. I was front and center, dancing the whole time. It was grime time, and guess what? I get to see him for New Year's as well, and you bet your ass I'm gonna be in the front again. I love RL Grime. You don't even understand how much I love RL Grime. I love RL Grime so much. I transcended into a different person. My only regret was not riding their Ferris wheel. I love Ferris wheels. If there's a Ferris wheel at a festival, I'm riding it. Just not this one, because I couldn't find somebody to ride with me. I should have just sucked it up and went by myself, but I didn't. That was my own doing. My last little thing for this is I got to shoot professional content every single day of the festival for different people, every single time. Once with the collective, and then 2 other times I got pulled to the side by people from the festival and asked to do like videos, photos, and then a couple of videographers that were shooting during sets asked if they could film me while I was dancing, doing different things, etc., etc. So that was a really cool experience. The next festival I have on my list is none other than Lost Lands. Pretty much every dubstep rat and just ravers in general know that Lost Lands is just one of those peak top tier festivals. I would consider Lost Lands to be like my home fest, especially being from the Ohio/Indiana area. Even though I no longer live there, I have been so many times. I've done pretty much every single camping type. I know pretty much all the ins and outs and the ways of Lost Lands. This year's Lost Lands gets a 9 out of 10. We're just gonna start from the top. Holy shit, guys, that main stage design, the best Lost Lands main stage design I've ever seen. I loved it. It was amazing. I was shocked when I saw it on Thursday's pre-party. So this year, I did try glamping for the first time ever at Lost Lands, and it was pretty okay. I'm pretty sure we each paid about $7.50 per person between the 4 of us. We got 4 cots. You got a free pashmina. Each of us got a $50 food credit. You got your own free showers with your own shower area, 24/7 concierge, the free breakfast. I'm not sure if that's it. I'm probably missing stuff, but whatever. Anyways, I went with a really good group this year. It was a super fun time. We had the best time. I loved the girls that I camped with. We had so much fun. The lineup was incredible, but that's just Lost Lands. If you're a dubstep fan, you're always gonna have a good time. This does not coincide with the festival, but Lost Lands, I had some of my best outfits to date. To date! Some of my best outfits to date. Enough said on that. The only downsides to this festival this year, and this is why it wasn't a 10 out of 10, it was so fucking hot and dusty that I lost my voice for weeks because of how much dust and grime was inside of it. But yeah, 9 out of 10. Pretty much a 10 out of 10. You can't really control the dust, and you can't control that you get sick. Such a good time. Such a good time. If you haven't been to Lost Lands, what are you doing, babe? Go. Lastly, 7 stars. I was very lucky, and I was able to score glamping for me and my group during pre-sale. I fought wars for that, honey. I fought wars. My Wi-Fi went out, my computer turned off, my phone was not working, and I still got the passes and glamping, bitch. I still got it. The rave gods blessed me. 7 out of 10. I was not a fan of the venue. I can't even fully explain why. I did like that it was a big venue, so there was enough space. I don't think there were enough markings or lightings on all of the paths and streets that they had. At night, it was very hard to navigate from one place to another, especially going from like one campsite to another. There just needed to be more lights and more markings. That's an easy fix though. Glamping should have had its own fucking showers, or several of them. I do not pay $3K to just have regular amenities. If I should have just gotten GA at that point, like regular camping. They did add like a 1 shower stall towards the end of the festival, but like it should have been there at the beginning, and there should be several in my opinion. If you're taking suggestions, take that one. Because other than that, glamping was incredible. I would 10 out of 10 do glamping for 7 stars again. The lineup was fucking incredible. The return of Grizz was incredible. We all know Grizz, we all love Grizz. He is like a pillar in the community. His return was highly anticipated since he even left. His Chasing the Golden Hour set happened during sunset, and it was fucking beautiful. The sunset was a paid actor truly on that day. His set on day 3 literally had everybody like in tears, bopping around with joy. The best vibe I've experienced in a crowd in so long at this festival. The whole weekend, everybody was incredible. Everybody was generous, kind, helpful, considerate. Like if you went down, they picked you up. If you needed something, somebody was giving it to you. If you wanted something, somebody would just give it to you. Incredible, incredible, incredible crowd. We again made so many incredible friends at this festival that coincidentally live in the same city as us. So that's awesome. I had the best tacos. Like, oh my God, these tacos, I had them 2 days in a row. They were just so good. I could not stop eating them. It was cold as fuck, but that's uncontrollable. So I don't even count that towards the festival. I just don't like the cold. Overall, I will be back. Rest assured, I will be back. It was an incredible festival. It just had some things that I personally don't love about venues. But that's just a me thing. That doesn't take away from the production. That doesn't take away from the vibe itself. It was such a well curated event. If you liked any of these ones that I didn't, or if you had the same taste as me, or if you hated any of the ones I loved, let me know your opinions. And again, remember, these are just my opinions. I'm so grateful to have been able to experience this many events this year, and I'm well aware that the average festival goer does not get to experience this many in one go. My privilege is not lost on me, so thank you to everybody that makes this possible. Brands, people who follow me and like my stuff, all the collectives I work with. I love every single person that engages with my content and believes in me. And thank you so much for watching this video.